We are live.
They're coming through the door. I can't.
You can't see
door.
the animation, but
I'm coming out of the booth.
we're coming out. So this is the premiere.
The premiere. Dun dun dun.
Marriage is for Quitters, and that's us. I'm Lucas,
I'm Lindsay.
and
This microphone makes me sound so sexy.
you do. I'm very attracted to you right now.
I'll try not to do my hyena laugh every time though, because that has got to be brutal in these things.
I like your hyena laugh. I like everything about you, though. That's why we're making a podcast.
That's why, because we love everything about each other, and that's how every relationship is. They just love everything about each other.
I don't think that's every.
Psych.
Yeah. I could name a few things I don't like. Just kidding.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
We'll get there in a few episodes.
I have a question, babe.
Yeah.
Do we look at each other or do we look at the camera? I know that everyone's going to see me asking this question, but I just want to know.
I would say that we should look at each other, although
think so, too.
it's hard for me to look when I got this big laptop screen in front of me.
Because he's also the
I don't know what
sound
you.
guy, editor,
Sure, sound guy.
or all of it.
All of it.
Multifaceted.
I do have lots of facets. All the facets, every single one. So what are we talking about today?
Today, I figure, since it is our very first podcast on Marriages for Quitters, I think it would be great for people to know why we're doing this and a little bit about us, our marriage, each other. Yeah, so.
You know what? Also,
What?
we need to discuss that this is supposed to be a live podcast.
Yes.
But it is not, because our first podcast is at the same day as Laundry Love. And if you don't know what Laundry Love is, one day a month, the last Tuesday every month, we go to a laundromat in our local neighborhood and we pay for everyone's laundry for an hour.
Yep.
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 Pretty
We do that.
easy schneezy. So if you feel like you want to donate to that cause, we'll put up a link in the description and you can go to our website and donate as much as you
How
wish.
did we get that idea to do that?
We stole it. We ripped it off
We did
from a
steal it.
church
We
from
definitely
California.
ripped it off of a church,
Yeah.
for sure.
They had it coming, though.
They did. They had it coming. Is that a play? I think Rent or something. I don't know. Somebody
You're
tell us.
asking the wrong guy about that.
They had it coming. It's gonna bug me now. You had it coming.
I think I
bet.
need a straw
A
so I
straw?
don't have to, you know.
You do look pretty femme with your. It's a whiskey glass. This is for whiskey, I believe.
This is straight up whiskey. That's how much whiskey I drink.
Anyways, Laundry Love. So and this is how wonderful my husband is, and I'm sure we'll talk more in depth about
How
this
wonderful
part-
I am.
This part of the relationship. But he left it up to me to pick the date for this podcast, and I was like, Tuesday, done. We're doing it. Tuesdays, first one on the 26th. And then 4 days later, was like, oh my God, that's Laundry Love.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, babe, that's Laundry Love, he's just like, well, she must know what she's doing. We'll just.
I just always assume you know what you're doing because you're just so bold, and I feel like I should just let you do your thing and not try to interfere.
That is incorrect. You should not do that.
No, because I don't. If I yell at you, I'm like, hey, well, that's Laundry Love, idiot.
You don't have to say it like that.
Well, that's what I'm thinking in my head.
Well, okay. You can. Let me just. Can I tell you an appropriate way to handle this?
Yes, I would love to hear that.
Babe, do you realize that's Laundry Love? Oh, no, it is?
Yeah, but originally we picked Thursday
Thursdays.
because it was a great day, and then everyone was happy, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, by the way, I scheduled 17 different appointments for all of our kids on Thursdays, so we're going to
It's not my
change the
fault.
day. And I'm like, wow, that was like
I
the
didn't
best
know
day.
that, the kids stuff. Anyways, they don't want to hear about this. This is boring.
I think this is exactly
that's
what they
probably
want.
Exactly You shouldn't clap there, huh?
Huh? You can, yeah.
Anyways, so, babe.
That's my name.
Only to me, though. If anyone else calls you babe,
They'll be,
yeah. Anyways. How did we meet?
Do you want to talk about how we met?
Yeah.
Like, how in depth are we going to do, like...
Not in
Are we doing, like... Not like...
Oh, my gosh.
Bless my soul. Like, prequel, like, the journey for me coming to you.
Journey.
Because the way I see the story as, like, this journey from Michigan to you. But the way you see the story is going to be a totally different.
Totally different. I like it. Let's hear your journey.
Okay. So about 1 million years ago, I had a hair up my butt to travel across America to chase my musical dreams in the city of angels, Los Angeles. That's probably like Spanish for Los Angeles. And, you know, went through some tragedies on the way, had a fire, lost all my stuff in that fire, and continued forward. See, this is important to the story because it put in motion everything that got me to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was going to brush over it, but I don't want to anymore. No, don't. So I packed up all my gear into a camper, and I drove across the country with my old guitar player. And about halfway through, our trailer caught fire. It's weird telling you a story you already know.
I already know.
Yeah. But
Here, I'll put on a mustache so I look different.
Yeah. Oh, who's that person? Let me tell. Well, you're brand new, so let me tell you.
I'm keeping it.
No, I love it. I think you should. Okay, so everything caught fire, and we lost everything we packed up for this trip. I think we saved an acoustic guitar, and I may have had some clothes left in a laundry hamper. That's all I can really think of. And I had no money left either because a state official or someone, I think, they needed a payment for cleanup. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know that I had like nothing, enough to get like ramen for the next week, you know.
Which you love, by the way. You still do.
Yeah. I do love ramen.
It's not like you had PTSD with ramen.
Yeah, no, I love ramen and I love Vienna sausages.
Oh.
I love poor people food. Mm-hmm. #. So at that point we decided, are we going to continue going? And I was like, heck yeah, bro, let's do it. We had a dream. Let's chase it. And so the very first, we had no idea the layout of Los Angeles at all, which is why we ended up in West Hollywood because we didn't know where the heck we were. We were just like, this looks like LA. We're there. And I saw a big mall. I think someone got shot too. Like we drove up and like some rapper or something got shot in the street and there was a commotion and we just kind of disregarded it for some reason. I don't know why. We went into the mall. What's the mall called?
Beverly Center.
The Beverly Center. And I went into like 3 or 4 stores in there and applied for jobs and gave them all my sob story. I just lost everything in a fire and I need a job. And gosh, what was that manager's name? Jesse. I love Jesse.
How could you forget
I know. I'm sorry, Jesse, if you're watching this. I like you a lot. You're a cool dude.
He is the reason for our marriage.
It's all his fault. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Jesse. Just kidding. So yeah, I walked in and I think before I even got back to the truck from the interview, he called me and said I got the job, and I don't know, it was probably like a couple weeks or maybe a month, and then that's when you got transferred over there. And I used to watch you every night as we were closing the store and be like, that's what I'm talking about. She was my manager.
What was I wearing?
Your closing outfit is what I remember the most. I know
my closing outfit? I didn't change.
You had like pink pants and Uggs and stuff, you had Uggs.
It's coral, bright coral.
Okay, whatever. And I loved it though. And and I knew I loved her from the moment I saw her.
You also knew you loved Veronica from the moment you saw her, who was my
Veronica was Well, I don't know if she's gonna watch this. So I like Veronica too. I had a crush on Veronica.
Veronica is freaking awesome.
But she was also a bit much
She's a
for
lot,
my taste.
But we love her.
Yes, we do love her. She's a very attractive lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
she's
all
so
we-
funny. Oh my gosh. I miss her now.
Yeah, she's like she is very funny. She's great to
She's hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah, and so real. Okay, now we're just like going back to
Yeah.
memory lane. Okay. All right, keep going.
Well, that's how. But how does your journey?
I don't have much of a pre-journey. I mean, we'll get into like previous relationships, I'm sure, at some point. But I had just gotten transferred to Beverly Center. It was a promotion for me. So I was working in the Topanga Mall, and they promoted me to Beverly Center. Same position, just higher paying, whatever. And yeah. But still not enough to live in Los Angeles.
Oh no. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so I did not fall in love with you right away. You were actually quite annoying to me.
Yeah.
Yes. He was always hitting on me and saying, what did you always say to me? Something like, you're going to be my wife someday. And I'm like, you are a loser. He would make, I'm sorry, babe.
So harsh.
But you know how much I love you now? Anyways, I thought he was just like the skis ball that just wanted to bang, and I was not about that life.
I did.
But you also loved me. Okay, anyways, I thought you were a skis ball, so I was like, oh, okay, you're really cute. I definitely thought you were cute, but you were younger than me. You still are. You're still younger than me. Like by 6 years.
I think that's going to... It might stay that way for the rest of our lives. I'm not sure. By the way, you're still younger than me. Don't forget it.
Don't forget it. Anyway, so I was just like, okay, he just wants someone to listen to his music. He's just this lame, I knew so many musicians that were just trying to make it in Los Angeles, and it was just normal to me. You came from somewhere where not a lot of musicians were like trying to make it, and it was oversaturated in Los Angeles. So you were just another one of those garage bands trying to make it. I never listened to your music. You always invited me to your shows, and I was just kind of like, well, whatever. And then I remember one day they changed it at Armani where you had to make your sales or you would get written up. So I was like, we had a fun relationship, but it definitely was one-sided. Like, you were attracted to me, but I was kind of like, he's cute, but no. And I was also on a dating sabbatical at the time, which we'll get into that as well. So I was like, never going to happen. He's too young and immature, and all he does is hit on me. Like, he's an HR issue waiting to happen.
That's true. Yeah.
So they changed it. So you had to make your sales. You would get written up. And I was like, okay, Lucas, I'm going to show you how to make your sales. And you made I'll never forget it. You made an $11 sale that day. It was like a clearance item. And we were like, yay, good job. And I just remember cheering for you. And anyways, you ended up getting fired because you couldn't make your sales. You didn't want you didn't want to make your sales.
It's not that I couldn't.
Yes.
I just wouldn't. Because I did not care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to push myself on someone. And you can appreciate this as someone who shops, I'm sure. Pushy salespeople in stores are so annoying. You know what you want to wear. You know what you came there for. Well, maybe guys and girls are different in that aspect. I came for this. I come just to the store to get.
If you come in wanting that help, you will ask.
Yeah, you can ask for help.
Yeah.
But the people, they would put like 4 or 5 people on the floor to sell Armani Exchange in a place smaller than my basement.
Yeah.
And all the sales rep would rush the door when someone walked in. And I was like, I'm not going to be part of that.
Yeah.
I'll just fold my clothes and chill until I get fired.
So you chilled all the way the F out of there.
Yeah.
Fired. Anyways, there was a Oscar party one of our other coworkers was having, and I went.
Valid. Love that guy.
You say it with a V. It's Walid. But you knew him better than me, so.
Apparently, it's one of those WV scenarios. It's a W in English, but it's a V in Valid. He also made me pronounce Pakistan. So it's not Pakistan, it's Pakistan.
Anyway.
Oh, hummus.
So that was my first interaction with you outside of work, and you asked me to listen to your music, and I was like, oh, okay, fine. And at that point I was like, okay, he's real cute. Like that night I saw
I
you
was
in a
fired.
whole different life. You were fired. I was very professional. Like I'm not gonna mingle with, my associates. I had like all my associates were my friends, but not like that. And anyways, I listened to your music, and immediately I was like, take me now.
And I did.
And he did. It was raining. Are we gonna get this into it?
Oh, if you want to get,
No.
we can.
Not super into it.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's just say all the signs were there, people.
It was raining, and I was like,
I rode
home on your bike.
I rode a motor scooter to this place, and it was about 30-minute drive, about 30 minutes probably.
Yeah.
They don't do that, do they? Do they measure distance and time in California, or is that just Michigan?
I don't know. Who cares?
I'm just screw me. But yeah, she didn't want me to ride home in the rain, and then so she drove me home, and then we got to the door, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to come in for a Corona?" And she was like, "Okay, just one drink, but nothing else is gonna happen." And that's when I knew something was going to happen.
Don't say that, ladies. Okay? You just leave. Just leave.
As soon as you say, just so you know, as soon as you say nothing's going to happen, that's on your mind. That's you're telling yourself nothing's going to happen, but you're lying to yourself.
I was definitely lying to myself. I wanted it. But anyways, that's for another
But now we are good Christian people, and we do not condone that behavior.
I was a good Christian person. I just had some issues.
You had some whoopsies.
Okay, so fast forward. I was like, I can't see this guy anymore.
Fast forward to the morning. She makes it seem like it was a long time. It's later, on the distant future. No, it was literally that morning. I got a 10-paragraph text.
Anyways.
Okay, sorry.
I was struggling because I was like, I was not supposed to let this happen. Anyway, okay, we're going to. I told him I can't see him anymore. A few months later, some guys came into my store. I'm probably skewed on the timing, but some guys came into my store looking for me, and I'm like, what the heck? And they handed me a present. Actually, you came to see me at my work because I had now transferred to a different location in Glendale.
I feel like we went to we hung out in Cheesecake Factory or something.
We hung out, but not like boyfriend girlfriend. We just hung out. Yeah, you came to visit me at work. We walked around the bookstore, and there was this book that I really wanted. And then a couple weeks later, these guys came in looking for me, and I'm like, they looked shady. Yeah, like it was Steve, who's freaking whatever. But then there was these other two guys, and I was like, what do they want? I'm not involved in the mafia.
Steve and Voldemort. Yeah, so they gave me a present. And in the present, it was the book that I wanted from the bookstore. It's called 27 Hours, about the guy that gets his arm stuck in the rock. Yeah, we should watch that movie tonight.
That's a good movie. Yeah. But even better book.
I love Franco.
James
Franco. I love that guy.
He's
you better watch it.
I'm sorry. So you got me that book, but the best part was on the front, the little tag where it says to and from, it said, to my future wife from your future husband. And at that point I was like, no way, no how, like whatever. We had our thing. We're done.
But I kept it. She kept it
for years. I probably had that. I had that thing up until after you proposed to me. I kept that thing in my wallet, and I'm so sad that I lost it. It was just a little holly leaf that said, to my future wife from your future husband. And I saved it. And I don't know where it is. There is a reward out there.
If you find this note, we're going to get fake notes. I write very funny, so you can't match it.
Yeah, you can't. Anyways, I saved it, even though I was like, heck no. But that is kind of where, the rest is just like, a blur kind of, but I just remember getting that thing and thinking, no way. And yeah, we ended up dating and then not dating. We broke up twice, I think.
Yeah, a few times we broke up, and well, you fired me.
I fired him.
You fired me from the relationship, which I
was a manager. It was in my blood. Okay.
She came back with my apartment key, and she's like, "Listen, I think I need to let you go." Or something.
I did. I said, I think I need to let you go. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
Am I still getting my last check? Like,
it'll be in the mail. Anyways, the rest is like little snippets here and there we'll probably bring up eventually because they all have lessons in them. So why do you want a podcast?
I want a podcast because I want to do whatever makes my wife happy. And she said she wanted to. So the main reason that I think the podcast is a great idea is
that I had.
That, yes, it's your idea, babe. Good job. The main reason that I want to do this podcast is so that we can learn about each other more. Mm-hmm. So it's not, I don't want to come from a point of like, I know everything about relationships and how to make them perfect, because I don't. I'm learning along the way. I think that me and you both have the same mindset of we don't think that there's a plan B.
Yeah.
There's no plan. Route. It's just, this is it forever. I agreed to marry you.
Unless you start beating me, then I'm out of here.
Come on, bro.
It's more likely that I'm going to beat you.
Yeah, I think it's
TBH. But TBH. But I won't.
Yeah, I know. None of us are going to do that because we're committed to each other. We love each other, and this is marriages forever. But I want to learn. I want to learn more about like things you don't talk about. There's things that we don't know that we don't talk about. We just think things and we just think them passively, and the days go on. We're so busy and everything's happening, and little things are building up. And so this is a great way for us to work through problems and discover problems, just like plug myself. That sounds nasty, huh?
Yeah. Don't say that ever again.
I won't say that again. But I was going to talk about, I wrote a book, or I'm actually in the middle of writing a book. And the purpose of writing the book was to find out about myself the same way I want to find out about us with this. And so I think after we do this for a year, I think we should write a companion,
that'd be great.
Companion books together.
Not to interrupt you, but I think it's such a great thing for other people to watch a learning process along the way, because like you said, we don't think we're perfect. We're not perfect. We're not here to like, this is how you have a perfect marriage. We're here to tell you how we've screwed up, what we're learning, what we're doing in the process to better ourselves and better our marriage. And yeah, I think it's really important to learn with others. Like we can sit down in a therapy session and hash out all of our stuff, which is also very healthy and very good. But there are marriages out there that are struggling that need to know that it's a learning process all along the way. The whole time you're married, you are learning about each other because your partner is constantly growing. You are constantly growing. So there's no like, we got married, this is exactly how it is, and this is how we move forward from here on out. Like, I think a lot of marriages think that way when they get married, like, this is it. And then when something changes, when someone gets a different passion or a different career, it's like, okay, this isn't the same, I'm out.
Which is like me.
All the freaking time.
Like every 2 weeks. I like to keep everything else in my life interesting, and I'll keep you the same. Now, do you want me to switch it around? I'll keep my life the same. No. And mix
I
up.
thought you were going to say keep you boring, and I was about to come over.
No, you're never boring. You're always exciting, and that's one of the things I appreciate about you is that you're never just like, you're not just like, this is me. Just take it or leave it. This is all I am. That's a weird voice, but you're always willing to do things that you don't necessarily like, but you do them for me. You help me out all the time, or with the kids, with the family, or scheduling. Like, we are very, I'm not yin and yang. Like, we fill in each other's spaces very well. And I'm also willing to do more. I just don't want to step on your toes, you know.
Well, I don't think that also comes naturally for some marriages either, which is part of the reason why I want to do this, because it's not easy to put yourself aside and things that you want aside for another person. Even if you love that person, it's like, well, I have stuff to do too. So, but you have to do it. And I think, or that's kind of why the Marriages for Quitters came up, because it was a play on words, but there's things that you have to quit. There's things that you have to give up to make a marriage work. And some people are not willing to do that. There's a lot of single people that are like, well, I'm not giving that up, so I'm not getting married. But the thing is, you grow exponentially. Is that a word?
Yeah, it increases.
Like a lot, yeah. So much more when you're pushing yourself for yourself and another human being. And people that are single and never want to get married, they, just want to have all these partners. If that's you, no judgment, like, do you. But marriage is something that will force you to grow and force you to be a better human.
And having kids. That's a great way to learn to be,
podcast.
Yeah, to not be selfish anymore. Like, people that don't want kids, that's fine too. But you can tell certain people are like that because they're very selfish and only interested in what they want. And that's not all people without kids or don't want kids. But a lot of it's like, oh, you're only taking into account your feelings in here. And a lot of their stuff is superficial or on the, face value or whatever. But I don't think anyone should stagnate, relationship or not. We should always be trying to grow ourselves. And the people that aren't with that mindset of growing themselves or growing their relationship, they keep experiencing the same problems over and over and over. And I don't know what's happening. Why is my life so bad all the time? Well, you're not changing anything in your life. You're not trying to grow. You're not learning from your mistakes. And that's an issue.
And being married, you constantly have, if you marry the right person and with the right mindset that wants to help you grow in your own personal journey, as well as a journey with each other. If you're married to the right person, that person, like you, is going to push you to be a better person. So there's no escaping it. Like, you constantly push me to be the Lindsay that I'm supposed to be. And, like with drums at church, even though I'm like terrible at it right now, but it's like, did you practice? You're willing to help me. You're willing to set things up for me. Like, anyways, the play on words, the Marriages for Quitters, like, so what? I quit being selfish. I quit doing stuff just for myself because I am dedicating myself to another human being that I believe will help me be a better person, that I trust, that I love unconditionally. So that is where the podcast, like the name of it, came from. And it was literally just like a dream. Like, I just dreamt it and thought of it, and I was like, that's it. And normally I waver. This freaking earpiece is coming. Like, I have to ponder about things, and is this the right? But I was like, I did waver on the 4 versus the number 4. Because I was like, there's 4 things technically that you should quit. But anyways, we'll get to
what are those 4 things? Or is that for another time?
Quit being selfish. Quit living for yourself, which is pretty similar, but there are differences. Quit running and quit doubting.
Now, you just don't like exercise, or?
I don't. That's such a freaking lie. I work out every day. No, but I don't like running. But I pushed myself, and now I'm running the best mile I've ever ran. So anyways, babe, why do you want a podcast?
Oh, yeah. I appreciate the subtle hints. And one thing you may not know about me is I'm not great at conversations. Because I'm going to ask you that question, but that's an issue that I struggle with, and it's not because I don't care about the other person. Mm-hmm. It's just I forget that.
Which is a really cool thing about us that I don't think we've ever talked about is when we are in a social setting. I'm very much a social butterfly. I like to talk to people. I like to engage in conversation. You try.
I try, but I'd rather be sitting in the corner.
You're always looking at me. Like, instead of engaging with the person talking to you, most likely you're looking at me because
you're way prettier than them.
You're looking for that comfort and that, she knows, so I'm just going to stare at her instead of like the awkwardness of talking to someone else. Mm-hmm. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, that's a cool thing.
We have a good dynamic. I'm good at being attractive, and you're good at helping the conversation flow. I'm sorry.
Camera's off.
I'm just kidding. We were going to say something. Oh, I was going to ask you, why do you think we should podcast?
That is such a great question. Okay. Well, I have been listening to a podcast. It's a murder podcast, but I love their dynamic so much. And
stay sexy.
And don't get murdered. Okay, bye. They got me into the podcast world where I'm like, this is so, if you have, and I'm not saying I have a great speaking voice because actually my voice is super annoying, I think, but
Disagree.
In this microphone, it sounds so sexy.
You sound so good.
I sound like Karen Kilgariff. You should have you remember my podcast? This guy stabbed himself.
Stabbed himself. He tried to stab his wife, but he stabbed himself. Really, they didn't find the body for 3 months.
Anyways, yes, I listened to Murder Podcast. And that was my first introduction into the podcast world. And I was like, Lucas and I can totally do this because we feed off of each other so well. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's often times where you're more factual than I am. And I'm just more feely than you are.
We're yin yang.
Yeah, yin yang. I'm all about my heart and my feelings, and you're more about facts and
logic,
statistics, logic. So yeah, we work well in that way. And
they're very good together. Those things should be going together.
Mm-hmm. Which Karen and Georgia have that, and I was like, we have that in like a marriage, but I can't talk about murder because I don't like. There's already enough of that stuff, and
it just gives me the heebie-jeebies too.
But anyways, I think, like I said earlier, there's so much to learn together, and I just want to be a vessel for other people that are like maybe stuck in their marriage, maybe thinking about marriage, maybe in a very happy marriage, but wanting to like kind of grow in it. And I feel like, not that we're perfect in that area by any means, but I feel like we have the mindset and the personalities to kind of help each other and help other people. And we have the desire to do that. And that's really like what you need the most. But
yeah. And we're bored.
We are not bored, girl. We have, I just called you, oh, girl. No, we are not bored. We have so much on our plates, but this is important. Your marriage is important.
Speaking of what we have on our plates, I'm going to give my wife a shout out because she made some bussin' dinner tonight.
That reminds me, I have a secret that I've been holding out on you. I totally forgot about this.
What is this?
Look, I've already ate half of it.
This is our midnight snack that I haven't been getting. It's okay. I've been stuffing my face with Cheetos.
Cheetos?
I just been telling myself I'm on a
it's all melty.
I'm in a bulking phase of my workout.
But we're like eating healthy, ish. Pretty healthy.
Well, whenever you cook, it's healthy. Whenever I don't have your meals.
Can I feed it to you on camera?
Sure. What is it?
It's low light whipped topping with pretzels and peanut butter.
I like all those things.
It should be the low sugar peanut butter, but we don't have it right
now. They're going to say it should be lotion.
Lotion? I'm sorry, I've been holding out.
You skank.
It's so good, right? Here.
Well.
Y'all saw me spit. I just want the last bite. Okay.
I think on that note, I think we can close this sesh out.
I will say, if you guys have anything you'd like us to talk about, questions, I am a prude, but I'm very willing to get honest and real and deep.
Mm-hmm. What's our email address? They can just send us an email.
Marriage,
I'll put it in the description if we mess it up, but
marriage is 4 quitters. marriagesforquitters@gmail.com.
all right.
But we will be answering questions live.
Not this time, as you probably have noticed if you're commenting on this live. We are not actually here, but I'm sure that we'll be at Laundry Love checking every 10 seconds to be like, oh, what are they saying?
Yep.
And
we'll
all three of you who are watching this, I appreciate you.
Yep.
We appreciate you.
So stay sexy.
Stay
sexy and get married. I'm just
Perfect.
We need like a
what's our
an outro?
I think we have I think we have a slogan. We'll say it next time.
Marriage is for quitters and be your person's person.
I'm gonna
be your person's person.
Be your person's person.
That's not catchy enough. Give us a catchy one.
That's pretty catchy.
Be your person's person.
Be our person's person. Personally, okay. I think you should be our person's person.
Personally. Okay.
And we don't have a closing screen, so
we don't have a closing screen.
It's just gonna go like this.